D Pod presents Dawg House.
Magpie, fuck you, you asshole.
You're starting to piss me off, you little piglet son bitch. Call me.
Magpie, fuck you, you asshole. But anyway, here we go.
We're back! This is Chip and Pepper, and we're on the run, having fun with Tommy Gunn! Woo! Topanga Canyon, 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 alright. The place is out of sight. Sagebrush Tina and her friends shaking their asses down in Calabasas where the action never stops. In Topanga Canyon, 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 alright. It rocks every night. Chip and Pepper, the heart of LA. Mickey, you're cool, yet they skip surfing school. Ripping waves and J's in Topanga Canyon, 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 alright. Yeah, it's out of sight. Pine Tree Circle, it never ends. El Camino Road with all her hidden gems, and the swing on the seventh ray. Topanga Canyon, 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 alright.
Okay, Tommy, okay, you want this one?
You're in the Dawg House.
The song that just ripped through your head was Topanga Canyon by Tommy Gunn. And in the doghouse tonight is the one and only Tommy Gunn.
Oh yeah!
Tommy, how the hell are you, dude?
I'm great, brother. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's the Doc's honor, bud. It's the Doc's honor.
I love the show. You're definitely a hound. As I wrote a song called Hounds of Hamilton, and you're the dog for sure.
You did, and I listened to it because you sent it to me, and I just said thumbs up, man. That's awesome.
Classic.
Hey, so tell me, growing up in a steel town in Canada and being surrounded by, a musically gifted family, especially with influences like your father, Sonny Del Rio, and your cousin, Rod Stewart. That's phenomenal. How did these early influences and experience, shape your musical direction?
Well, my dad was and is incredible talent, and he showed me the way to be professional and to deliver music with feeling, and I think that that's a huge thing for me. And also on the other side, my mom's side, my grandfather was Rod Stewart's cousin, so he's my second removed. But my grandfather was my influence, who'd play piano, break down into some Frank Sinatra or something like that, you know what I mean? And just playing the whole family, get in and dance and sing sort of thing when I was young. And so those were sort of my influences. I met Ron a couple of times, actually, once in Toronto and once in Los Angeles. And he's a busy guy, so, we didn't really have too much of a chance to have a conversation, although I do keep up with his son, my cousin. So that's pretty cool. But my dad played in like a lot of rock and roll bands, and we had times when the whole band was set up in the living room. My sister and I were jumping over wires and cables, and trying to listen and catch our favorite thing, and so I was brought up with a lot of creativity and love, and I think that's why, for me, I tried to do the right thing, and I got a late start with my music because I raised a family first, and instead of raising a family through music, I waited till they were old enough to do their own thing and went into mine.
I think that's a great choice. I look back and I know with my band and practicing and gigs, I was a single father of my son, and so I sit back sometimes and think about that, about all the time I was gone, and the times that I couldn't spend like I wanted to with them, and that's hindsight, and I don't know if I want to call it regret. It probably is on my part since they're older now. I mean, a lot older. You kind of look back and say, damn, I just remember when they're this age and this size. Now look at him, he's 30 years old or something. So yeah, I think that was the right choice, Tommy. I do.
Yeah, well, I mean, your son is the way he is, and you shaped him. So, I mean, I'm sure you're very proud of him. And
oh yeah,
and it's from the times that you were there that you influenced him. So you got to look at it from that perspective. But yeah, man, like so. Anyways, that's what I did, and I released my first album in 2013 called Unleash the Hounds.
Yeah, you did, and I was going to ask you about that. So that was your debut album, Unleash the Hounds, right. And it really made quite an impact internationally. You charted what I think 7 in Australia, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, dude. So everybody kind of reacts differently. So how did that recognition and that success? And I think that's a great success. What did that mean to you personally?
Well, like it's part of my journey, and I was very thankful. However, I haven't made it to Australia yet to play. I look at whoever likes my music, I'm very happy and satisfied. And I played quite a few shows after I released that first album, and then I decided I was going to stop doing shows I did shows for a few years, and then I said I was going to stop doing shows and write another album. So that's what I did, and I released my second album, I Believe in Love, in 2020 in Los Angeles, and I released it on February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2020. And then my wife and I came home the end of February, and COVID came with us, basically. In March 2020, everything was shut down, and any plans I had was canceled. And so I was depressed for a little while about that, and the whole situation was kind of freaky and weird and unusual.
Did I ever tell you my dad's last words to me?
Careful, son. I don't think the safety's on.
Before that!
Hey, you're in the doghouse.
But what else are you going to do? So I wrote another album. and I took it down to LA. I had someone down there that was, ready to rock, produced the album, had a studio, everything. And my wife and I went down there and realized we couldn't work with that fellow, unfortunately, because of the negative vibe. We just didn't dig it. And so it took us about a month and 20 different studios we went to until we found the coolest cat in Michael Blue and recorded my new album, California Way there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fabulous.
So let me ask you this. Do you bring in different musicians to fill the instruments, or do you have a full-time band, or how does that work for you?
So I write the songs, or I collaborate with different friends of mine and write a song. And then, so what I do is I have the songs pretty much ready and record ghost tracks.
Okay.
And then I invite different people to play on. That's what I've done so far. And then form the band afterwards and with the people or some of the people or new people, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way I do it. And like, and then, you know, I build the song, you know, it starts out with the ghost track, then I bring a drummer in, and I've used several drummers, from a friend of mine from high school to, you know, Dale Harrison from the Headstones, Greg Bissonette from David Lee Roth and Ringo Starr now.
Cool.
And my brother-in-law used Dan Goldberg, and I've used Jack Pedler from Teenage Head. I mean, I've used so many different drummers, but all exceptional.
Right.
And my son actually played drums on one track as well on my first album.
That's cool.
Yeah, I have my son on drums and my dad on sax. So there's 3 generations on a song called No Justice, Just Us on my first album.
That's phenomenal, dude. Your dad and your son on a track with you. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and we got that forever, you know, that's locked in. And so, you know, I've been fortunate to write songs with cool people and collaborate with cool people and cool producers and cool engineers like that. You know, my first album was mixed by L. Stu Young out of Metalworks Studio in Toronto and mastered by Nick Lagona, who Nick Lagona, you know, he did every Deep Purple album and so many more. Nick also mixed and mastered my second album, I Believe in Love, and my third album, Michael Blue produced it, and I co-produced all 3 albums. But on my second album, I also had the luxury of having Eddie Kramer produce one song.
No shit.
So, yeah, that was pretty cool working with Eddie.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Damn, dude. You know, it just makes my jaw just drop listening to you, because it's like, fuck. The people that you've worked with and
oh, I could go on like on this new album because we were in LA at the time of the pandemic. Nobody was touring or everything, so everybody was kind of home doing nothing, twiddling their thumbs. That's why I had the fortunate of having Greg Bissonette, Richard Gerstein, who wrote Cher and Kiss, Ryan Shore. His uncle is Howard Shore from Saturday Night Live. Ryan does conducts orchestras and writes scores, and like he's brilliant sax player. He played sax on a few tracks. I had Dalton Sear, who's a up and coming great vocal, and I wrote 5 songs with Fernando Perdomo, who wrote with Jacob Dylan, Echoing the Canyon. He's on Jimmy Kimmel with Jacob. And he also just released an album with Carmen Apice called Perdomo Apice. And yeah, so like, I don't know, man, I covered a Gatto song on this album. I wrote some great songs about the California vibe to me and how it affected me and influenced me. And I think it's all reflected in the music, so.
You're phenomenal. And speaking of phenomenal, I'm going to put one on the turntable for you guys, which is called Won't You Tell Me?
Let me tell you a quick story before you play this. I wrote this song and I in Toronto, my living room in Toronto. My wife comes around and it's a hit. And I started laughing. So we were just like giggling together. And my wife, by the way, is the rock star of the two of us, honestly. But anyways, she came out, so we were in LA, and I was thinking this song's missing something. And then we watched at the time on Disney, Get Back came out about the Beatles, and Michael Blue is a big Beatles fan. He's English. He's a big Beatles fan. You know, I watched it. It's 8 hours. 4 parts, and but in one part, there was Paul McCartney singing his song, and in another part, John Lennon was answering him. And, he goes, I got a feeling right now. Oh, yeah. And then, John Lennon answered him, everybody's got something. Everybody's got something. You know what I mean? Like, so
Right.
I got the answering thing, and I thought, that's it. That's what's missing. That'd be cool. So I got Michael Blue, who sang, and Dalton Sear to answer on this song, Won't You Tell Me, which I dedicated to my brother-in-law, Dan Goldberg, who was a huge, probably wrote all the funny movies we ever watched. And he passed away shortly after they played on 4 songs. He plays drums on this song as well. And this is called Won't You Tell Me? And my mom as well. My mom passed away. So I dedicated it to both of them.
That's phenomenal. So here it is again, guys. It's spinning for you, which is Won't You Tell Me by Tommy Gunn.
Tell me right from the start now, how do you live your life when you lead with your heart? Won't you tell me, how do I fly straight when this world is so full of hate? Won't you tell me straight from the grave now, I wanna love so bad that it's all that I crave. Won't you tell me? Won't you tell me? Won't you tell me now? I need to know. Won't you tell me? Before I go, won't you tell me? Won't you tell me? Won't you tell me? Never mind, I already know. Life is love, yeah, love must always grow. Won't you tell me? Never mind, I already know. Real friends make you rise and others come and go. Won't you tell me? I guess I already know. People disappoint, but you're gonna let it go. Won't you tell me? Tell me, won't you tell me? Won't you tell me?
Great track, dude. Great track.
You are in the doghouse.
The transition in your music from Unleashed to Hounds to I Believe in Love, it kind of reflects a journey from like hate to love. So what was the personal and artistic transformation that inspired this album and its themes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly right. And it does. That's the whole intent. It went from hate to love. It's part of my journey. And my journey was I was in a bad relationship. And I stayed in that relationship. So my children, I didn't pull the rug out on my children. Whether that was right or wrong, I don't know. But I feel like I paid the ultimate price, but which made me resentful and in a bad spot, full of hate, probably, and resentment. And anyways, I left that situation. I knew I had to get out. I left the situation. I stayed at my sister's for a year on her couch and, thought about music, thought about what I was going to do and everything. And then I met the girl of my dreams, and she totally changed my life. And my heart went from black to red, and I wrote "I Believe in Love," and because of her influences and the way she changed me, and I have her name tattooed on my arm. I could show you.
Tell me.
It's Amy Zing. I don't know if you can see that.
I do. I see that.
It's Amy Zing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 5 stars. and I mean that. She changed my life totally, and I love her so much.
Well, Bert, can't we both go along too?
Yes, mon amour. That's Spanish. That's French. How do you like that? I speak French too.
And we got married in 2018, and because of Amy, I was able to. She took me and showed me a number of things which I probably never would have seen, and Los Angeles being one of them. 7 times we've been there together, and the last time was for 6 months, in which we recorded California Way, and that's the way it's gone, and it's like I've been very lucky. That's all I can say. I've been lucky and fortunate, and but I mean, it reflects in the music, and that's what I feel. I hear the transition when I listen to the albums, because I'm listening to them now to remember, because I got to play them live, because I put the band together and we're ready to tour. But yeah, crazy.
If that hadn't happened to you, and even though you paid the price, then you and Amy wouldn't be together.
That's right.
I guess it's always hindsight when you can look back and say, well, damn, if that didn't happen, then this wouldn't have happened, and that wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have been here today. And so, even though it probably sucked shit for you to go through what you had to go through, ultimately, you came out with a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You
you're right. And it's about perception and how you see things. And you're absolutely correct. You know what I mean? You still have to recognize, what you did, sacrifice or whatever to get where you are. I was lucky. Some people aren't. And, but that's another story. We can get into that, but
we'll do another interview on that one.
But really, so that's where I'm at, and I want to go back to Los Angeles and record another album, but I want to do a bunch of live shows and tour, and I want to come to Colorado and play the show there. I want to tour the US, I want to tour Canada, and I'm going to, so. That I have no doubt. And you better let me know when you come to Colorado, dude. You fucking better. Because I'll be there, man. I'll be there fucking front row, dude. So backstage, bro. What do you mean? Backstage. That I appreciate. So Dawg's going to spin another track for you guys from Tommy Gunn. Here's Love Conquers All.
Love is love and hate is hate. Not voted it wrong and it went the beat. Now look what's happening in the Middle East. Until they come down from the sky, it's up to us to know the how and why. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. Yeah, love conquers all. Is that enough? If history taught us anything at all, there are no winners, big or small. It doesn't matter if you're straight or gay. You gotta love in your own way, yeah. You know love conquers all. Love conquers all. Yeah, love conquers all. Is that enough? Love conquers all. Love conquers all. Yeah, love conquers all. Is that enough? You know, love conquers all. Love conquers all. Yeah, love conquers all. Is that enough? Love conquers all. Yeah, love conquers all. Yeah, love conquers all. Is that enough? Or is it fuck all?
Good night.
Right on, brother.
Damn good track, dude. Damn good track.
The message is real. The message is real on that one.
You know, that's the thing about your music, dude. The message in ways is kind of clear. I mean, again, I don't think anybody knows what somebody's really, truly talking about, but they can pick up on the message of what that song is meaning. And that's one thing I love about your tunes, dude. Just fucking love it.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. I co-wrote that song with Greg Godovitz. I don't know if you're familiar with Gatto or any of his music, but
No.
yeah. Greg's a great guy, great human being. And he was generous with his time and everything and helped me with that. We wrote that in Gowan's studio. Gowan plays with a band called Styx. I don't know if you ever heard of them. But anyways, yeah, we co-wrote that in about 15 minutes. Love Conquers All. It's funny how things, come of it. And recorded it in Toronto. And my wife's on that track as well. And yeah, it's a great song. I think the message is real and needed so much right now in today's society.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody's got to get back to love and enough of the hate and isolation and me world. It has to be all about us, the human race,
Yeah. Well, I think COVID flipped the switch.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think, society has recovered, not even tried to recover from it.
You never know. It's going to switch back. I have the hope and belief that it will. So, I mean, it just takes a little bit of time. That's all.
No, it does. And I agree. And I think people that have attitudes like we do, because I'm not a negative person. I don't wish ill will on anybody. I try to help and be the best person I can be. So when I look in the mirror, dude, I can, feel good about what I see instead of looking in the mirror saying, well, you're an asshole.
Exactly. That's it.
And
yeah,
so,
man, for sure.
Always remember, the flash of an atomic bomb can come at any time, no matter where you may be.
That's the joy. And I think you get it too. The joy of helping somebody, the joy of giving something to somebody without expecting anything in return.
You haven't stopped talking since I came here? You must have been vaccinated with a phonograph needle.
That's the best you could ever ask for.
Yeah, I know. And it's as simple as pausing and letting someone go ahead, or holding a door open, or, just being kind and generous. It's that you can be that simple and get a rush off of that. Believe me, when someone says thank you, or, even if they don't say thank you, knowing that you've done that is a positive thing, whether you get a response or not, just knowing that you did that.
Well, it's for you. You're not really expecting somebody to jump up and down and give you a big hug when you open the door or something like that. But
No.
it's just knowing that I was raised with values and morals, and I was raised to open the door. I was raised to say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and I'll say that to people that are half my age.
Yeah, it's respect, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just what we grew up with, and I know
Right.
you had the same thing. It's just that lacks so much in this world that it's freaking unreal. So,
and that inspires me to be all that more like that, so people see it, because for some reason they forgot about it. I don't know what the heck happened there.
Well, anybody that came in contact with you during the day, dude, I guarantee you walks away feeling better and is happier. I guarantee it, dude. No, I mean, haven't you ever come across somebody like you're in a great fucking mood and you're trucking along, and then you meet somebody or come across somebody that's in a shitty, negative mood, and it just changes you.
No, I just keep on going, bro.
I think they take my positive and give me negative. It's like, you fucker, give me my positive back, But
oh yeah, they will suck it right out of you, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you stick around to let them, I don't. I just keep on going, bro. Yep. I don't look back.
That's good. I'm gonna have to remember that, because I stick around too long sometimes.
Yeah, they'll suck it right out of you, bro.
You hear that, Magpie? Go suck a duck, dude. So.
Shut up! First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
Woo! Nobody gives a shit.
But you've had the opportunity, though, to collaborate with some really legendary figures in rock and roll. So, and again, with your background and the people that you've worked with and producers and everything, how have all these collaborations, enriched your work, and what have you learned with maybe working with such iconic, musicians, producers, artists?
I feel that collaboration is the best thing of all, honestly, because I feel like when you're writing with someone or some people, you collaborate and you will say something that will spark something out of someone else that normally they wouldn't have thought of. But because you said that, it sparked that. And it was like, wow, that's fucking great. And so to me, collaboration, I love collaborating, and I love, working with everybody as a unit, because it's not just me, even though I might be the face of Tommy Gunn. It's a whole unit, and the band and everything is like fills everything, and it's like so much fun. And yeah, so I don't know, what else really to say, except, I love rock and roll, and I don't know, people say rock and roll is dead. Well, start supporting the people who are still making it instead of people who are long gone and their music lives on. I get that, but you need to support the people who are here and who are making music now, because it's not cheap to make good quality rock and roll. If you're in a studio, it's not cheap. It's expensive,
Hell yeah, it's very expensive, dude. And the rock stations play all the old 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff over and over.
And there's tons of tribute bands now that are working steady and making a living as a tribute band, playing something from 40 years ago, even, and it's like, I get that people are nostalgic, you know what I mean? But I mean, if we don't support the new, then there's not going to be any more new, and that'll be the end of it, and I think that is the shame.
Oh yeah, no, we have to, dude. And I guess my whole point, what I was saying about the radios playing it, is that we lack, new, good, great music, and I think it's coming there. It's getting there. I mean, you're a prime example, dude. You really are.
Thanks, bro. And I call myself new classic rock. That's what I call my music. New classic rock.
you wouldn't want to call it old classic rock.
Right. It's new. So it's
Well,
new
it is
classic
new,
rock.
dude. It is
It's a
new.
new genre. New
Yeah.
classic rock, you know?
There's always songs that I hear that were done in like the 30s or 40s and sometimes 50s that, a mainstream band had picked up and done that I never knew that they had copied it.
Right.
So that was old rock and roll that they made new rock and roll.
Yeah.
So
they did it their way, yeah.
Rock and roll is rock and roll, dude. I don't give a fuck if it's old, new, in the future or whatever. Rock and roll is going to be rock and roll. And as long as it's put out there and let the people hear it and put it in people's faces, dude. And you're doing that, Tommy. So, this is why I like to do what I do. And I love talking to people like you, especially because it just gives me that faith that fucking great rock and roll is coming back. And I don't have to listen to the same old shit over and over again.
There you go.
So thank you, buddy. So, on that note, your last album, California Way, we talked about that a little bit. And you did talk about this too, that it was inspired by the love of the California coast. So tell me this, because I've been thinking about it since you said that. What about the life and the cultural style of California, influenced your songs, and then especially the sound on California Way?
I also had Lawrence Juber on the album, by the way, who played Paul McCartney. And he did this intro on a song called Hey Sister. That's phenomenal. I never heard an acoustic guitar player play so well. Just so you know. But you have to get the album to hear that one.
Yes.
I was inspired by the vibe of the people, in California. My wife and I used to go to this place in Calabasas called Sagebrush Cantina. And they'd have bands there from 12 noon till 12 midnight, and they'd have tons of bikers there, the California bikers, and everybody would just like move to the music and dance, for 12 hours and just rock, and so we love that place. We go there every Sunday and going for a drive through the canyons from, and then across, especially in Calabasas, we go through Topanga Canyon and cross down to Malibu. And, when you hit the ocean from coming through all those winding roads, like gorgeous mountains that like, I can't even put words to justify the beauty of those mountains, and then when you're finished with that, you get the ocean coming right at you, the PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. It's just like in Malibu, gorgeous, like really when you go for a drive along the coast, Pacific Coast Highway, and like it's just like incredible. I just can't explain it. It just like did something to me personally. And so that's why I think that, it's amazing, and it influenced my music, and I think that when you hear it, you'll hear the love of California. And to me, I learned the California way, and that's what it is.
No, dude, I agree. I mean, you can definitely feel the vibe from it, that how much you really love, California. And, after what you just said, I want to say you suck, because I'm sitting here going, fuck, I want to get in my car and drive to California.
I did this podcast with this cool guy, Kelvin Schwartz, and he said to me, this album is for anybody who loves California, who's been to California, or is thinking who's going to California. This is a fucking album for you, right? And I just started laughing when he said that. It's so true, though. I mean, like...
Oh, it is.
I mean, I think my brother-in-law said to me that he thought that I captured California so well, and I thanked him for that.
You just have that sound, along with your personality. It all kind of vibes together. So before I keep rambling on, Magpie...
Hey, Magpie. Magpie rocks, too.
Yo, hickory dickory dock, some chick wants to suck your cock.
You're such an asshole, Magpie.
Ding motherfucking dong, bitch!
You can see Tommy likes you.
Yeah, I love him, man.
Yeah, I do too. I hate to say I do.
Thank you for calling. All lines are busy right now. Your call will be answered in the order in which it was received. You are number 9453. Your call is important to us, so don't hang up or you will lose your place in line.
But anyway, I'm going to spin one more track from you guys for Tommy Gunn, which is here's Junction 66.
This is one of the sort of metal songs off my second album. You'll really dig this. It really rocks. And with that, I'm going to be off, but dig it. And I wrote this for a friend of mine, Jeffrey Carl Thompson. He got murdered when I was young in 1989, and he was born in 1966. So I wrote this song, Junction 66, for him. And I actually had a bunch of all his friends help me with this song, and I hope you dig it.
Hey, you're in the Dawg House.
Tommy, tell us where we can find your info, dude. Tell us where we can find your music, videos, merchandise, any release dates, any upcoming gigs, especially your gigs too, dude. I mean, you probably put on them, and I haven't seen it, and I'm not going to say for sure, but I know for a fact you put on a phenomenal show. So where can we find you?
Yeah, so I have one link for all my links, and all my shows and everything will be posted there as soon as they're booked. The band's not quite ready. We're almost there. As soon as they are, we're going to be booking tons of shows. So it'll all be there. And it is sociatap.com/ all capitals TOMMYGUNN. So it's sociatap.com/TommyGunn, all capitals, all one word. And that's where you can find me, all capitals on all one word, because two N's. Because otherwise, you'll get the porn star or the boxer or like a million hip hop artists. But if you do all capitals, all one word, you get the rock star, the rock and roll Tommy Gunn, and there you go.
You heard it, guys. Not just one N, do two, or you get that porn hub. So don't go there.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh shit. Tommy, Doc wants to say, man, thank you so much for joining him in the Dawg House, buddy. It was great.
Thank you, man. Enjoy that track. See you, bro.
Man. Oh, definitely going to do that, man. So,
all right, brother.
All right, buddy. Before we head out the door, man, Doc wants to say thanks to MD Pod Hub, my producer, Magpie Sally, Matt R., Dogbone Studio.
Love yous all. I love yous all, man. You all are supporters of rock and roll. I can't say enough about you guys. You rock.
And Tommy, you rock, buddy. From the Dawg House, it's the Doc and Tommy Gunn. We're out of here, guys. Later.
Peace.
MD Pod presented Dawg House.